Hello everybody, hopefully you guys made it in okay. Forgive me for adjusting my camera and kind of trying to get used to this live thing. So yeah, we made it to 1500. That's pretty awesome. Forgive me for adjusting my camera and kind of trying to get used to this live thing. I'm hearing my own voice, that's not good. I guess I'll just turn my volume up. We made it to 1500. There we go. Yeah, sorry about that. Maybe that will fix it. Like I said, yeah, not quite used to doing the live stream stuff yet. So forgive me for the technical difficulties. So let's go ahead and take a look at a few of these wooden artifacts. Like I said, thank you guys for the 1500. That's really awesome. I've been working hard still, emailing archaeologists and people in the archaeological profession, and also going on YouTube all the time, trying to get people into my channel as gracefully as I can. So it's paying off. That's awesome. So this is a really neat little spear point. It's found in a fire pit. And what I like about it is it's beveled on the one side and then curved on the other. Hopefully you guys can see that. I think it's really neat to hold these parts of history, especially the wooden artifacts. The wooden artifacts are very rare, as you guys know. A lot of times they don't last, but these were preserved in a clay, and I'm going to go ahead and show you a few of the other ones that we're going to take a look at. Maybe prop you up just a little bit. You guys might be able to notice the big bird man here. But first, I guess we'll go ahead and take a look at this charred club. So this club is really neat. It's got a handle on it, and it's pretty fragile. It's covered in like a sand. Hopefully the focus is okay. I'll show you the top of it here, how it's kind of bald on top. So not a lot of examples of wooden clubs. We see them in TV shows and things, but not a lot of actual examples of these wooden artifacts exist. So it's pretty rare, and it's interesting to see. I guess we could try to see if we see some images on it, if there's caricatures. I think that there are, from what I can tell. Actually, as we look, there's my little pencil here. If I can get the focus right and find out where I was there, I saw some lashes coming out of where the eye was. There it is. So you see the circle? Isn't that neat? Takes a second to see it, but once you see it, you can't unsee it, right? Very interesting. So that's a really neat one. Let's go ahead and take a look at another, kind of like a wooden axe here. It's kind of like a bird totem, I guess. Move this out of the way. And so you can see these still have the clay pack that was placed on them when they were found. And this one's really neat because it does have on the top end here a bird. When you point it just like this, I'm worried about my focus. Can you guys tell me if my focus is okay? So you see the beak here, and then you see the wings and the tail. So it's kind of like a totem. I'm going to show you the bottom of it here. And hopefully you can see the black char that's on this. So charred wood doesn't just happen on accident. Human intervention had to take place. Again, another piece of history. It's really incredible. Let's go ahead and take another look at the bow. Many of you guys have seen this bow a few times, but again, you don't find these in museums. And what's very interesting is it looks like they were growing out into a circle here. So on both ends. I'm not sure exactly where the cord would go. You can see how this side's a little damaged here, nearly destroyed, but it's still intact. You can see these little lobes on the end of it. And of course, the handle. I think that looks amazing. The way that they grew this, I just don't know how they do it. Don't know how they did it. No, I think it'd be great to get that stuff researched to find out. Here's another charred artifact, wooden artifact here. This one is also birds. It's also the bird man. So indigenous groups still dress up like this bird man today. And it has that big nose. Let's go ahead and twist him around a little bit, so you can see the other portraits and profiles on here. And they're like little weird characters, right? Of course, you can see the eye and the mouth there. You may be seeing other things as well, because of course these are several different images. The bird head there, you can see, might be like an ocean bird. And let's go ahead and just twist him around and take a bit of a look. I think there's another way to see the bird as well. This way. Yep. Very neat. Yeah, that's interesting, Gabriel. Very cool. Let's take one look at this smaller bird effigy, which will be a little bit easier for me to hold and show you guys. Fortunately, my zooming and unzooming is kind of disabled during this live stream, so can't really zoom in too much or put it in fisheye like I usually do. So this one's covered in like a sand, almost like beach sand, which I thought was very interesting to find in the middle of North Carolina. There was a time when the ocean went all the way up to Raleigh, but that was so long ago. To think that people were roaming around at that time, I'm not quite sure. I think the sand just still resides in certain areas of North Carolina, but this sand is usually not found where these are found. So hopefully you guys can make out the little bird there with its scrapings and things in there. Kind of abstract for sure. It's hard to see this old stuff. It's just so old, it's hard to see it. In the shadows here, we might be able to make out a portrait, like a silhouette. Let's go ahead and put them the other way. Fascinating. So of course you guys are seeing these portraits. The nose poking out here, and the little pokey lips. Hi, Wick News. Thank you guys for joining me for this. I really do appreciate it. Good to see you all. It's kind of fun to be able to respond to you guys as you message here. It's kind of a fun deal. So this one is really neat because it's gathering the attention of people who aren't really into this, or they may be on the fence. It's hard to deny this one, and that's what's kind of tough about this whole situation. You know, a lot of the things people can't see, but then when they see things like this, they're like, well, he's got these other ones. He's got these ones that are definitely faces. They're definitely statues. So does that validate the entire collection? You know? Well, at this point, I think it's just really just for us. Just for the people who are really into this. Let's go ahead and take a look at a few traditional artifacts. So this one I wanted to bring out. Passion on Fire did a little live stream showing a very similar one. And these are traditional archaeological artifacts. These are nut grinders. They have little divots inside the bottom or the top of them here. I'm not sure exactly how they would work. I guess maybe you would stick it in the ground and then use something else to crack acorns and things. don't know if there's images on these. They're just stone tools. Here's a bit of a chunky stone. I'm not sure if it's a chunky stone or just a gaming stone. But you can see how there's this circular pecked out rock here. It's pretty neat. And we have some precious, my precious. We have silver on some of these crystals, which is really interesting, right? So here's probably a bird head of some sort, but it's coated in a silver, which is really neat. I'll have some crystal out here too. And something I want to show you with this crystal is that a lot of this crystal is full of gold. So here we have a bird facing to the right with a red beak and the white eye there. And it has lots of other images on it as well. Let's go ahead and twist him around. But before I do that, I want to show you another one that was found in the collection here. So these are all found in one spot, these types of crystals. So different stones were found and kind of packed all together. So I imagine the same group of people were putting them there. And the characteristics of these ones are they're all white crystal all around except for the one side. They don't have this coating on the other sides. And go ahead and take a look at a few of the profiles and portraits on this one. We're really, the way the sun is set up, I think it's best for the right side. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. I believe I see a little bird head pointing that way. The white crystal is kind of tough to interpret. It's definitely higher level. And this one here, kind of want to show you here at the tip of it. So this one is a bird probably this way. I'll go ahead and take a closer look at it, but what I want to show you real quick and keep the focus is that this whole section, hopefully you can see it sparkling at you there, it's actually full of gold. So this whole area in the top there is gold. It looks so out of focus on my side. Maybe I'll try to pull away just a little bit there, so maybe you can see the flashing. But very interesting white crystal collection. I collected a lot of these white crystals, but as I've said, they're tough to interpret. Of course, you guys can see the eyes and things, especially you guys who study this. You can see it all popping out at you. Very interesting. So we have a big pottery piece here. I'll go ahead and point you down just a hair. We've got a couple of these that have all these weird lines on them and things. And of course, go ahead and move our wooden one here. You guys can see the portrait coming out there. Hi, Tim. Good to see you. Yes, Sarah, that last one was quartz. So this is a very heavy pottery, and it's still packed in a lot of its clay, and you can start to see the silhouettes coming out on the other side there. But this one is really neat because it has this band that goes across it. You see how that band is there? And this wooden artifact that we were looking at has that same kind of band, same kind of disc around it. It's very similar the way that it is shaped, believe it or not, aside from the long nose. It's a little tough to show the left side profiles, but on this one it does have some fantastic left sides. You can see how that twist is in there, almost like a corkscrew. All right, finishing up, we only have 2 or 3 more here to look at. So there's a whole collection out there that I didn't really get into. I just had my hands full with the other types of collections, but there's a crystal, a quartz collection out there that's painted red and black. It's in a little bit of a different area than where the other ones were found. But there's a whole new set, a whole different group of people who may have been there at a different time that created these. So this one is actually a depiction of a frog, kind of pointing away from us. Oh, there's so many, Gabriel. Yes. The entire area down there is just coated and covered. So if you can see the back of this leg here, the little crease of this model frog, you can see the same crease there. And if you look at the spots and the line down there, it is kind of like a toad. Very neat. I like these little frogs. If you kind of make them croak. Yes, Gabriel, you email me. I'll let you know where it's at. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at our mammoth effigy here in the sun. It's not just mammoths, of course, it's humans as well. But I think the mammoths really come out very well. And what's fascinating about this piece and several of these artifacts is that they are magnetic. So it's very interesting to find magnetic stones in the shapes of faces, right? So you may be able to start picking up on the herd here. Of course, one trunk. We have another trunk in here, and this trunk sinks in. You can see the eye of the mammoth pretty well in the shadows there. All these trunks, these dripping trunks, as I've said before, and a little short there. Really interesting. And let's go ahead and see what else might be on this for the right sides. The left side portrait for this is really incredible, and I could put him out here, but you probably only see the silhouette of him. You might be able to spot the bird here. And my neighbor's air conditioner just came on. Apologize for that. I think that might be my cue. You guys can start to see these. Yeah, exactly. What I really like about this is the bottom of it. I don't know what a mammoth foot looks like. I know what an elephant foot looks like. But I believe that is the shape of the foot of the mammoth. So pointing upward, you can really see this portrait a little bit better. And that's why the best time to look at these artifacts is during the sunset and sunrise. Because that's when the sun is really just coming out at the side there. And that's kind of what I'm imitating here. So if you're looking at the face as if it's pointing upward, you can see that very well. Excellent. Well, that was awesome. Thank you guys again, and really appreciate all the new subs and all the support. So thank you guys, and have a wonderful day. Appreciate you all showing up. It was awesome. Have a great one. Bye-bye.